Welcome to Intelus into the Duet platform. Duet's no-code approach enables non-machine learning experts to build document classifiers and entity extractors for their unstructured text data, starting with no labeled data. Duet has a three-step process to build models. First, upload your unlabeled data. Second, teach Duet the semantics of your model the way that you teach another human iteratively. Third, deploy your model. In this video, we will focus on teaching Duet how to label entities in documents. We defined a schema with 4 subcategories that make up address. These subcategories are street, city, state, and zip. Let's start labeling entities. There are 3 different ways to label entity extractors. Search the Enron email dataset for address-related phrases to find addresses to label. Search for avenue. Select address on the right and then click and drag on the full address in the document to label it. Select each of the other address components on the right and either label by dragging and highlighting or by double-clicking if the token is just a single word. Once labeled, the label for each entity is a highlight over each segment. The colors of the highlights each correspond to a schema entity. Each entity gets its own color. You must select a schema entity on the right in order to see its labels on the document. The second way to label is useful when correcting system predictions. Predictions are shown as solid underlines and the labels are shown as highlights. When the system overgenerates positive predictions, you can fix the incorrect prediction by labeling some of the words as negative to the schema category. The way that you label a word as negative is by clicking the Flip Predictions button and then clicking on the token. The Flip Predictions button lets you flip a single word from a positive label if it was predicted negative, or flip a word to a negative label if it was predicted positive, with respect to the entity selected on the right. Providing negative labels will fix the false positive prediction. Now, we move on to the third and last way to label. With every new document that you retrieve to label, the system will prompt you to verify the prediction of a particular phrase with respect to a particular entity. You need to answer with a tick, cross, or a question mark. Clicking on the tick will submit a positive label, whereas clicking on the cross will submit a negative label. Lastly, clicking on the question mark will submit as I don't know. Let's label this one negative, since this isn't a city, and then move on to label the rest of the categories by highlighting. Skipping a document by pressing Next Sample without labeling it will tell the system that it's not relevant. And if you later decide that you want to label it, you will need to find it again by pressing the gear menu of Model Settings and accessing Skip Documents. As you move on to the next document, you'll see that the count at the top right of the screen updates to show the total number of documents labeled. The quality metric next to each schema category will also update to show how accurately the model can extract entities that fit your schema. The quality metric is important as it helps you monitor your progress. It also helps you decide when to stop teaching the model. We're pretty early in labeling, so not all of our schema categories even have quality metrics yet. So keep training to get all of them above 80%. With all this, Duet helps you power your applications with AI in just a few hours.